everyone, it's Melissa, and on today's tutorial, we will be making this gorgeous springtime butterfly necklace using Jesse James beads. Let's go ahead and get started. Supplies you will need for this tutorial: Jesse James beads, bead mix, and never give up. And I will go ahead and leave the links in the description box so you can go ahead and order these supplies. One of the check glass strands from their Tucson Treasures. Beautiful. I just love the sparkle on it. Some of the check glass chain, and we'll be needing 2 feet of that. It's sold by the foot. Additional supplies you will need are some 6mm jump rings. It's always good to have an assortment of sizes. Sometimes you want to use an 8 or a 4mm, so just have those on hand. A clasp, and this is a little flower clasp from the Magical Mystery Bead Box from February, and then some head pins and possibly a few eye pins. You will need 2 of the cage crystal components in gold, and they have little crystals inside of those. Beautiful. Tools we will need: I will go ahead and be using the one-step looper just so I can make my loops a little bit faster. Some wire cutters. Round nose pliers, and sometimes it's good to have a flat nose plier on hand just in case. These are the beads I will be using for today's tutorial. We're going to use this butterfly charm, and that is going to be the center of our necklace and the focal. Then I went more with the gold tones. They do have silver tones in this mix, but it's completely up to you if you want to mix and match your metals. I'm going to go with the gold tones today. Once you have selected the beads you will be using for today's project, go ahead and bring in your check glass chain. Make sure that there are loops on both ends. If there is not, just go ahead and either take your wire cutters or your round nose pliers and just go ahead and open that link up. For your check glass chain, it's up to you if you want to make a single strand necklace, or you can even do a bracelet. I'm going to go ahead and make a double strand necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2 ends. Now it's up to you if you want both ends to match. They could be offset, so you could have your flower ending on one end and then one of the smaller beads. It's completely up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and offset mine just a little bit and see how that looks. We're going to take our check glass chain and go ahead and match it up on one end. Go and hold that into place. And then it's up to you if you want them the same length and just kind of make like a little cluster necklace, or if you want to do a single strand, that's completely fine. So right here at this flower, I'm going to go ahead and open up this link. Just going to go and use the round nose pliers and just treat these link loops as a wrapped loop. It just opens like that, and then you're just going to go ahead and roll it back into place and make sure that the loop is closed again. So I'm going to have 2 links of chain, and the top link is going to end on 2 flowers. And the bottom one's going to be a little bit off in design. We'll have the beaded chain here, and then 1 little bead and a flower. Just play around with it. If you want to change things up, you could remove all the flowers and put them on one link. It's completely up to you. I'd love to see how you design this pattern. The next step, we're going to go ahead and bring in those rose crystals, and we're going to bring in a couple jump rings. We're going to go ahead and attach our chain to the rose crystal. So that's going to be our little component. Go ahead and take your pliers and open up a jump ring. Now when opening up a jump ring, you never want to pull it apart, just kind of move it side to side. We're going to go ahead and attach our link. And then we're going to attach the jump ring to one of the ends on the flower. And just go ahead and close that up and make sure it's completely closed. And then we're going to go ahead and attach the second link. Now if you want, you could attach it to that first jump ring, or if you want to give it a little bit of space, you can go ahead and attach it to one of the next loops on this flower. Once you connect both links of chain to your flower, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other rose. Go ahead and bring in the jump rings, and then just go ahead and attach them. Once you have connected both of your chains to the rose component, now it's time to embellish the necklace. So go ahead and grab your eye pins and your beads and just go ahead and start stringing them onto the eye pins. For these little yellow beads, I love to put them on the bottom of an eye pin. And then I'll go ahead and add one of the small miniature rondelles and one of the teardrops on top. So I'll go ahead and make that pattern a couple more times, and then those are just going to be like my little drops from the bottom portion of my necklace. So we should have 12 of these dangles. Go ahead and grab your one-step looper. We're just going to go ahead and put that eye pin in and go ahead and give it a squeeze. This is such a wonderful tool because it makes the wire wraps go by so quickly, and you get a perfect wrapped loop every time. And you'll just go ahead and do that on the rest of the 12 that you have remaining. It's really nice too, because if you have to do a lot of loops, your hands start to hurt at the end. This one's really comfortable to work with. Once you have completed the 12 little wrapped loops, go ahead and make any additional dangles that you wish with any of the leftover beads on the eye pins. Once you have completed all your little links on your dangles, you have a couple different options on how to attach them. You can go ahead and take your dangle and open up the simple loop and attach it directly to the chain, or go ahead and make sure that your loop is completely closed and connect it via jump ring. Before we start adding our dangles, I almost forgot to tell you the most important part, is we're going to go ahead and attach our butterfly focal. So just go ahead and make sure it is center in the middle. Now it's up to you if you do want to make it asymmetrical and have your butterfly off to the side, or maybe on that first row and then just have your dangles. Completely up to you. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put it on that second row there. So it's just going to kind of nestle in between those two, and then I'll have all my dangles on the bottom. So go ahead and find the middle. Now if the middle on your chain is a bead, we're just going to go ahead and remove that bead, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it with a jump ring. So we're going to go ahead and be removing this middle bead here. Just go ahead and find the opening on it and just slowly open it and just pop that bead out. And make sure you save the extra beads that you've removed, because you can always use it as another earring or add it to another part of the chain or another design. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and attach a jump ring to connect the links together. And then we're going to hang that butterfly off of the jump ring. And go ahead and open up that jump ring and attach our chain, the butterfly, and the chain, and go ahead and close it. And straighten out the necklace when it wants to cooperate. There you go. Starting to create the beautiful butterfly necklace. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our little dangles anywhere on the chain that you would like, and you could put them on the middle chain if you want to. You can make them as sparse as you want, or you can have lots of dangles, make it like a little charm bracelet, completely up to you. Now I'm going to start to attach my dangles. I'm going to do a random pattern. I'm just going to go ahead and open that loop on my dangle and attach it to the chain, and just go ahead and close it back up. And then I'm just going to add more dangles to the bottom layer of my chain. Once you have all the dangles added to your necklace, go ahead and grab some beading wire and that gold crystal strand of beads and any leftover beads that you would like to add into the necklace. Cut 12 inches of beading wire, and you're going to need 2 of those, so 24 inches in total. And then we're going to go ahead and connect it to this rose component here. Go ahead and grab your bead stringing wire and find the middle of the rose component, and we're just going to go ahead and string that through the top of it. And then we're going to match our ends of the bead stringing wire, and then just go ahead and pull that down. So you're just going to string it like it's a bead. And then I have 4 of these little leftover yellow beads here, and then 2 of these shiny crystals. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take one of the beads and string it on each side of the wire. So we should have the 2, just like that, on the beading wire. And just go ahead and let those slide down. Then we're going to take that larger crystal bead, the yellow one, and string it through on both wires. This is going to act as like a little wire guardian for your piece. And then you're just going to go ahead and string on any additional beads on both strings of the wire. Now we're going to go ahead and continue our design. With the rondels, they come with little size 8 seed beads in between them. You can feel free to use them in your design. I think they look really pretty and kind of space out your beads. So we're going to string one of those on, and I'll show you how they look. I'm going to pop in one of these rondels here, and it just gives it a little bit of space for your design. And we're going to use one of these yellow cubes. Then we're going to put on another rondel. Really love this golden color. It's perfect for spring. Just a beautiful color mix. And just like that. So just go ahead and work on your design, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Once you have reached the end of your necklace, go ahead and attach your clasp. I'm going to go and use this little flower clasp from the Magical Mystery Bead Box and Beadalon size 2. So you're just going to go ahead and slide on the tubes. Let them slide all the way down to the bead, and make sure that the beads are nice and tight, not too snug where it's going to cause tension and break. They should have a little bit of wiggle room. And then just go ahead and attach it to one side of your clasp. Magnetic clasps are sometimes a little bit tricky just because they want to stick to everything, especially if you have metal beads in your project. And then you're just going to go right back through the 2 tubes. Sometimes it's hard with a couple strands of beading wire to just get them just right. They want to move around on you. Just make sure they're going through both of the wires. Just make sure it's up against that bead and you have that little bit of wiggle room. You're going to go ahead and grab your pliers and give it a nice smash. And then if you want, you can go ahead and add a cover on them or just round them up. As you can tell, my magnetic clasp is getting stuck to my pliers. And just like that, you've completed one side of your necklace, and you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other. Here is the beautiful butterfly necklace we have just created using Jesse James beads, bead strands, and bead mixes. How beautiful. Perfect for springtime. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for further content.